What's up, Otaku fam? We are the Otaku Couple back with more reactions here for the channel with some more Jaiden Animations. We have my first time playing D&D.
Oh, Lord.
This is going to be interesting.
It's funnier now because we're watching Stranger Things and the D&D.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and all of our mods are playing Baldur's Gate 3 and constantly telling us
Right.
things about it and sending us memes about it and everything. So, you know, it's just very fitting for everything that's going on right now. Thank you guys for the continued support. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, check out Jaiden Animations, check out our page out for full uncut reactions to TV shows, animes, and movies. Let's hop on in.
Dungeons and Dragons is like a board game without the board, and you play using your imagination. If you think of something, it can just happen in game. D&D is very popular. Almost everyone I've ever met absolutely loves it, and I have never played it before, even though I always thought I would really like it. People would tell me stories of their games, like, so this one time me and my party were entering a cave, and there was a big ogre guarding some treasure, but I used my charisma stat to seduce him, and we ended up eloping together. Dude, if you don't think that sounds
I mean, yeah, that's D&D for you.
Yeah.
What I want to know is, Jaiden, how did you even have time to do a
Right.
D&D campaign? Every video starts with, I wanted to do this, but I didn't have time. And
You
D&D
think
is
about
something
it.
that takes a very
Yeah,
long
that's what I was gonna say.
time.
That's like commitment.
That's like, you start a campaign and you are locked in for a good, at least half a year.
Until it's over.
Yeah. Oop.
Or till
crazy
your
fun
character
that
dies.
I don't think we would get along, and you should probably unsubscribe. But if you do think that sounds fun, then hey. Sorry, I've never done that before. It felt weird. I decided to reach out to Charlie, aka Slimesicle, aka Charlie Slimesicle, because he's super into D&D, and we ended up forming a little group of me, Alpharad, Ronbu as the players, and Charlie as the dungeon master, which is like the game organizer slash manager slash god. We all
Yes.
created our characters, and into the world we were teleported.
Okay.
The clouds part over a vast,
I'm here
lush
for this. Let's
forest.
go.
In it, a giant ancient oak tree can be found looming over all the other trees.
Right.
The inside has been hollowed out, and a sign hangs on the side reading Old Oak Inn. Inside, many
Classy.
creatures of various origins are relaxing,
The Wind Waker
drinking,
music, I'm here for
socializing,
it.
But one stands out. A cat, equipped with various instruments, sits at a table, leaning over their cup of milk and scanning the room. They spot a dragonborn drinking at the bar, alone, seemingly
would be
pondering life.
dragonborn.
From the other end of the bar, a man in a suit approaches the dragon and starts a casual conversation. Do you know Mark? No, I don't. Who are you? I'm Paul. I'm an assistant manager at Ye Old Mart of Wall. 43
Ye Old
years
Mart
old.
of Wall.
My wife passed away during childbirth. My parents died, and my only child, Paul Jr., ran away at age 6. I'm living a deadbeat life, not even able to go up in the corporate ladder because my manager, Mark, prevents me from doing so. So here I am, drinking away my woes. I'm Zoo. Excuse me, are you two new around here? Born and raised. I wish I was. Okay, so I've been stuck in a time loop for what I believe to be the past 3 years. I've relived the same day over and over. I suspect my neighbor Thomas somehow trapped me here, but I don't know how to escape. I can prove it. Look, over there. In about 5 seconds, there's a 70% chance a waiter is gonna trip and drop their glasses onto the ground.
The roll.
Well, alright, it's a bit impressive, but, like, it's gonna take a bit more convincing because that wasn't all that. Suddenly, a sheep crashes through the tavern windows and starts rampaging around the inn. It's going straight up crazy, knocking over tables, knocking over people. Paul mentions it's got something in its mouth, and the sheep immediately stops and runs straight up to him. As Paul takes what seems to be a scroll out of the sheep's mouth, Zoot whips out their mace in an attempt to pepper spray the sheep, but slips on a puddle of rum and accidentally sprays Paul, who just is disappointed at this point. The three open the scroll.
I love how she's telling the story, but going through the actions that they would have had to do and roll for, and whether they failed
This
it or
feels
not.
fitting, though.
So Jade failed her roll of putting the mace on the sheet.
It just feels fitting.
It does.
Roll, and Zoot, recognizing it's a speak with animals spell, translates it, casting a huge shockwave and blasting everything in its radius.
Lovely.
Hello? Can you understand me now? Why the f did you try to spray me with mace? Zoot and the sheep start bickering as Paul and Tholomew just stare at them. Just forget it, forget it. I'm no ordinary sheep. I used to be human and was cursed into a sheep's body. My name is Luop, and I need your help becoming human again. Please. All right, Lop. Well, it's Luop. Come on, guys, let's go. And for some reason, they all went along with it, still not understanding what the hell is going on. Maybe, they both thought, they could find their arch enemies, Mark and Thompson, along the way. The group is walking through the woods. Tholomew is very on
wish they'd
edge,
been like
feeling something
Dingleberg.
isn't quite right. The tree line is shifting in unnatural ways. Oak trees are turning into birch. The bushes are rustling. Zoot spots various random animals along the path and picks up a turtle, which they add to their inventory. Paul tries to pocket a turtle of his own, but it turns out to be a rock and is then mauled by a cougar. He ends up unharmed, though his adventure suit he changed into is now ruined. Zoot feels bad about Paul not getting a turtle, so they offer to let Paul name theirs, to which he chooses Paul Jr. They eventually reach a clearing with a large stone outcrop covered in engraved shifting runes. Carved into a stone is a large bronze door with a face on it. Hello. You should try to impress it. Oh, okay.
Answer me riddles 3, and then you can come in. I'm a riddle door.
I'm a riddle door.
The alphabet goes from A to Z, but I go from Z to A. What am I?
The alphabet backwards.
The answer was zebra. Who's next?
Damn. Paul is pissed.
I move without wings, between silken strings. I weave as you may find, my substance kind.
I'm gonna say a spider, because I got the butt strings.
Correct! You may pass.
Wait, but can you turn our friend back?
Double or nothing. Answer
Double or nothing.
your friend will be turned back. I creep and crawl with no eyes, legs, or ears, but I can move the earth with my peers. What am I?
Can you use it in a sentence?
In answer to the question,
Yeah, like spelling bee style.
nice try. You're not gonna worm your way out of this.
Oh. Damn. Did it?
I think I picked up on it. I don't know if you noticed, but he said worm on accident. I'm very detail oriented.
I'm very detail oriented.
He's a zebra.
Don't listen to
Paul, you know
him.
what
He's
you
a.
think the answer is?
What is happening?
Turtle, final answer. It's a worm. The adventure.
The turtle. Final answer.
Maybe we
The
shouldn't play
chaos.
D&D.
Oh, we're playing. We're gonna
Maybe
play
we
it.
shouldn't.
We're gonna do it. Don't worry, we're gonna play the Baldur's Gate 3 version of it, where we can't be as chaotic as a normal D&D game.
I'm gonna talk to the animals.
Listen,
See, I'll just be like Jaiden, and there'll be a turtle thing again.
Adventurers walk through the door's mouth, which closes behind them. As they're walking into an open room, they're greeted by a closed silver door. Zoot immediately pitches the turtle at the door, but nothing
Lovely.
happens. There's 3 dishes of clay placed in front of 3
thought that
pedestals,
was the
and the
dead
door
turtle.
face emerges once again, this time on the ceiling.
In order to continue, create whatever you want.
Not wanting to deal with more riddles, Zoot throws a dagger into the door's eye.
Fine, I'm not helping you with this one.
The group, now lost with no direction, decides for some reason
Bro.
to all start eating the clay, even feeding some to Paul Jr. and Luop against their wills. After all the clay has been consumed, the pillars glow red and more clay drops down from the ceiling, resetting the puzzle. Huh. Out of ideas, they decide to do what the doorface suggested. Tholomew sculpts a crown, Zoot rolls out a worm, and Paul builds a penguin. They all place their creations on pedestals, which sink in and beam green before the lights turn out and everything goes dark. They flash back on and suddenly all their creations have come to life in weird clay flesh bodies. Paul cleaves at his penguin with his great axe, nearly cutting it clean in half, revealing that the inside is just more clay. The worm monster looks at Zoot and says, "It's wormin' time!"
It's wormin' time!
And sending a shockwave towards it, immediately exploding the worm and splattering clay everywhere, living as a normal-sized worm now. The worm lunges and wraps itself around Zoot's throat, trying to choke him out. Tholomew rips the arms off the crown monster and dodges its follow-up attack. The penguin reforms itself, sprints full speed at Paul, but slips and splats into a pile of clay on the ground, to which Paul finishes off with his axe. Meanwhile, Tholomew attempts to rip the legs off the crown, only for the crown legs to turn into arms, grabbing Tholomew and climbing onto their head, causing them to lose their mind. Viewing the other party members as enemies, Paul shifts his attention to Tholomew, throwing his great axe horizontally at the crown. Unfortunately, it goes a bit low and the handle smacks Tholomew directly in the face. Zoot gets a grip on the worm, ripping it off their throat, and breathes acid onto it until it's reduced to ash. Tholomew blows on their bagpipes to attack Paul, sending out a thunderous shockwave that shakes the cavern. Paul is able to hold his ground, runs up to the two, and successfully cleaves the crown off Tholomew's head. All the clay monsters have been defeated.
Bro.
The silver door opens, and everyone cheers together in celebration. The adventurers enter the
Master's
new
like,
room
yes,
to be
yes,
greeted by
very
wooden
good, very
structures,
good.
spiral staircases, platforms, and a golden door at the very back wall. It looks like a camp is set up inside the area, and voices can be heard above on one of the platforms. Tholomew scans the area, looking for traces of their neighbor, Thompson. Not only do they discover a pack of goblins that have inhabited the area,
It's the
but
horse
he
from
also
Adventure Time.
recognizes a familiar boot print in the clay. It's the same type Thompson wears. He's been here. Paul climbs up to the goblin platform and sparks conversation. The goblins are confused and a bit wary of the intruders, but introduce themselves nonetheless.
I'm Gob. That's Glob. That's Gobble. That's Gobble Gob.
Gobble gob.
The Peeler.
The peeler!
Who's that?
That's Bloyle.
So your names are Gob, Glob, Gobble, Gobble Gob, Peeler, and Bloyle?
The Peeler.
The peeler!
So you're...
I just, bro. Not the peeler. Put some respect on his name, bro.
The Peeler.
Got it. So your name is the Peeler. You don't know anything about Marker Thompson.
I only know about one thing,
It's peeling.
and that's peeling. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Okay, all right, we're leaving. Paul starts booking it to the door they came in.
shaking.
The peeler right on his tail, stabbing
Oh my God.
No one else is doing or saying anything, they're just watching. Paul makes it back to the previous room and the peeler slinks into the shadows. With Paul in the other room and Tholomew and Zoot unable to speak Goblin, Tholomew is left trying to communicate through improvised sign language, pointing at the door and blowing kisses at the goblins to signal peace. Zoot tries to slip around the goblins in the meantime, as communication is clearly not working and the goblins are only getting more aggressive, but they bump into an invisible force they can't see, alerting the goblins, who are now initiating combat. Zoot decides
Oh,
to keep
Lord.
running to the door as Tholomew bangs on their drums, sending sound shockwaves at the attacking goblins. Gob, Glob, and Gobble are all sent flying off the edge of the platform, falling to their deaths. Gobblegob, in a fit of rage after losing his friends, lunges at Tholomew but misses completely, sending himself off the edge of the platform too. The peeler emerges from the shadows to lunge at
God.
Tholomew, who is taking up Loyal, but Paul jumps in just in time, clashing blades with him. As everyone is distracted, Zoot gets to the door, peeking in to see an entirely golden room with a small golden rod shaped like a tree branch floating at the center. The branch shifts between valuable materials, at one moment being made of gold, then emerald, then ruby. Gobblegob, the goblin that accidentally dove off the side of the platform, sprints back up the stairs and attempts to tackle Tholomew off the platform, but accidentally leaps over him and plummets once again over the edge. This time to his demise. Paul
Bro.
and Tholomew perform a clumsy team attack together and finish off the peeler, ending the battle, but because of the uncoordinated attack, Paul's axe is now peeled. They all hurry over to Zoot and enter
Not
the
the
golden
peeled
room
axe.
together, trying to figure out how to get the artifact down. Zoot suggests they all toss Slop into the air to get it down, so Paul Solanke Bowser's the sheep into the air, but in the complete opposite direction.
Lovely.
Tholomew quickly runs over and breaks his fall, and before Lop can say anything, they throw him again, this time hitting their target as they both fall to the ground. No one stops Lop's fall this time as he lays motionless on the floor. As Tholomew is healing up Lop, Zoot approaches the wand, only for it to be snatched by an invisible force. An unseen figure then reveals itself. Well, hey there, neighbor. Oh, and Paul. It's me, your good friend, Mark Thompson.
Mark Thompson!
You ruined my life.
Gas!
Plot twist! We're here for it.
My God. It was Mark Thompson all
Whole
along.
time I had no clue.
It's me, your good friend, Mark Thompson. Tholomew, you ruined my life, spreading false rumors about me. You said I cursed you, and now no one wants to talk to me. My wife and kids left me, everyone avoids me, so I spent years becoming a dark wizard, and I'm gonna have my revenge. What about me? And you, Paul. Anyway, yeah, you all.
It's not
spend the
about
rest of
you,
your lives
Paul.
Here in this shifted sanctum, I'll be going now. Tholomew quickly casts Locate Object on the wand Mark is now holding and throws ink in the general direction, hoping to reveal where Mark is, but unfortunately it doesn't land. Zoot sprints in the direction Tholomew indicated and attempts to tackle the air. They make contact, but bounce off of Mark's rock-solid beer gut, breaking the invisibility spell. Tholomew whips out their drums, slamming it with the intent to cast a Thunderwave on Mark, sending him flying from the impact. Zoot follows behind and shouts, "Depression!" casting a command spell on him. He stops in his tracks, facing Zoot, and says, "I'm so sad, having never dealt with depression before." He pulls out a picture of his ex-wife and kids and just
Bro, what in
stares
the
at
fuck
it
am I
longingly.
watching?
Paul and Tholomew see their chance to attack him and once again try to use an ultimate team attack. They grip Paul's peeled axe together and throw it in tandem at Mark. But once again, they mess up and Tholomew is accidentally sent flying with the axe as it pierces Mark's chest. Mark is unfazed, still wallowing in his depression, but Zoot sees this as an opportunity, casting Disguise Self and visually turning themselves into Mark's ex-wife. Ella, is that you?
What is happening?
It is. Mark. Mark drops the photo and wand, sobbing, and slowly walks towards Zoot, who has their arms out, ready for his embrace. He grabs Zoot and pulls them close, tears streaming down his face. It's been so hard. It's okay. I'm here now. Zoot pulls back just a bit, just to look into Mark's eyes, which are sparkling with tears, and proceeds to acid blast him point blank from the mouth. Mark is heavily damaged but alive, snapping back to reality and throwing Paul's axe to the ground. If I can't have the wand, no one can! Paul picks up one part of his peeled axe. Looks like the manager position just opened up. He throws the axe and hits Mark, but doesn't kill him. He then picks up the other
Bro,
peeled
how
axe
much health
to
does
throw
Mark
as
Thompson
but
have?
It boomerangs around and hits him in the back of the head. Tholomew grabs the wand from the ground and points it at Mark. This is for everything. The low tax return, the restraining order for moving in next to me. You're my personal hell! Mark turns to Paul while being zapped by the wand. Would you still let me be your manager, even if I was a... You're fired. You guys did it! Please, use the wand to turn me back into a
He's
human.
just shaking it.
Please. Tholomew casts the wand's powers onto Lop, finally turning him back into his original form. Paul and now human Lop lock eyes.
It's his son.
Aww.
Paul Jr., is that you?
Oh!
Son, Paul Jr. embrace. The wand, now all out of magic, crumbles into dust, and the party exits the cave. The bomb is dead, and the explosions erupt behind them as the group walks
Cool guys
on
don't look at
together.
explosions.
Thanks for watching. This was a different.
Bro, this was awesome.
That was an adventure.
Yes, it was. It really was.
I just like, and breathes acid fire into his
God, that
eyes.
reminds me of when back. I don't know if y'all remember when this happened, when Pro Jared played D&D with the Game Grumps, because like half of them had not played it before. And Ross was fucking lucky as hell, just swinging his 2 swords around madly and just winning every single time. And he was pissing everybody off. They're like, how the fuck does this keep working? That is the kind of chaos I am here for when it comes to D&D. Y'all be sure to let us know down below if you are a regular player of D&D. And if you are, what class do you pick? I'm very curious. We will see you guys for the next video. Bye.